What's good, y'all? It's your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with the custom SHF Ninja Storm Green Ranger or Green Shuriken Ranger, alright? From Nimpu Sentai Hurricaneer. Alright, so we are finally getting to this guy. I know it's been about a week since I dropped the first look, so yeah, let's go ahead and get straight into the review. I'll try to put him on the rotating display stand at the end, so hopefully I can get to that, but there's a lot to talk about with this guy, so yeah, I just want to get straight into the review if that's cool with y'all. All right, so let's bring him in for a closer look, and you can already see the detail on him is amazing. I mean, just purely, SHF style. Again, thank you to Chabo Toys for providing me with this figure. Again, he specializes in making, custom SHF Rangers like this. So I know that he did use an existing SHF, body to make the, this Ranger, but I'm not exactly sure which one it is. I went to his Instagram to see if maybe he referenced the original figure. And as far as I could see, he didn't have the original Ranger that he used to make this figure. So I'm not exactly sure, which Ranger it was first, but it's clearly, one of the male SHF Ranger bodies, and yeah, it looks really, really good. I mean, he killed it. I'm not sure. He must have like 3D printed the shield and the visor and everything, but it looks so good, man. I mean, it came out so accurate. All the details on this thing are like absolutely amazing, and it really does look like an official SHF figure. So that is really, really good to see. So yeah, you can see him in the back, a little bit of a back view here. And I just had him in a pretty simple pose, nothing too crazy to start off the review. But you can see I have him holding his samurai amulet and his, samurai saber in his other hand. And yeah, he looks fantastic, man. So let's see. I guess, yeah, right away we'll get to, one of his main gimmicks, which is obviously going to be like one of the most interesting things about the figure is that he can transform into his Super Samurai mode. And, that is a really, really dope, thing to see because previously we really didn't have any Rangers of him in this scale that were able to, effectively go into Super Samurai mode without like some kind of, tweaking or like mod. So it's really nice to see that now we finally have a, detailed SHF Ranger that can do that. All right. So let me go ahead and show you how that gimmick works. So I'm gonna put his arm down right here. I'll take the amulet out of his hand too, just so we don't lose it. Put that to the side. All right, so pretty simple to do. Yeah, let's see. So we'll start with the head. So the visor is kind of like it's on a swivel, and it's kind of like a magnet. And I almost messed this up. I nearly forgot to look at his instructions before I did this, and I almost probably ended up, breaking the figure. So thank God I looked at the instructions last minute. But yeah, what you want to do is swivel the visor, just like in the show. His visor does like spin around, so you want to swivel it to the side first, right? And once you get it basically like horizontal to where it's like, looks like this, you want to pull this top piece off, which exposes this piece underneath. So it's kind of like a little, it's almost like a peg, like a round, like little cavity for the, top part to fit on. And then what you want to do from there is take off this bottom piece. So let me see. It's always kind of hard to do these things on camera, but you can basically separate this bottom part of his head from the neck. And I like to kind of turn his head to the side first when I do it. I find it's easier that way, but let's see, we're trying to pull it. Okay, yeah. So that part comes off from the neck. And now you can see you have the peg exposed right there. And then the armor itself is actually in two pieces. So it's actually, I'll show you, if you pull this up, if I pull the armor up and off just like that, right? Put the figure to the side for just a second. I'll show you the armor vest. It's actually in two pieces, believe it or not. And it's actually magnetic, which is nice. So you can see the separation right here at the top in the back. And then if you pull that off, you actually have, this piece by itself and then this back piece. And yeah, they do have magnets inside. So you can basically just snap that right back into place, just kind of line it up, and it holds in place very well. And so, it's not like loose or flimsy or anything. Very good magnets that he used. I don't know, exactly how he did that. They must be like pretty small, but they are strong enough to hold it in place and look like it's, one complete piece. So that is really, really cool. All right, so you take off the vest, and then now you have, the, full chest symbol exposed, which, he had to design this, I'm sure, like, print this or print and paint this, which, is pretty crazy because, to do that from scratch, it came out absolutely amazing. Just like look at the gold and everything and the design of like the little bird or samurai, whatever that's supposed to be. It always reminds me of a bird, even though I'm pretty sure it's not supposed to be, but just to see that symbol on his chest, like fully realized, is dope. And then, of course, you can take the bottom part of the head and you can snap that back onto the neck, like so. Let's see, gotta push it down here. All right, there you go. So yeah, it should snap back onto that peg on the neck. So now you have that part. And then you can put, I like to do it, oh yeah, you can just do it like that. I thought I had to rotate it, but yeah, you can actually just kind of pop it on, and the top part of the visor is held by a magnet as well. So it is going to basically snap back onto, the bottom part. And now you have him in Super Samurai mode, which looks absolutely incredible, man. This is just so, so dope to finally have, this Ranger in both forms and looking immaculate in both. If I do say so myself, man, this is just amazing, amazing work. I can't believe what Chabo was able to do with this. And the quality of this figure, let me just start off by saying, is really, really like good. Like his joints, when I first got him out of the packaging, were so tight that they almost felt like too tight in the beginning, like they felt even tighter than your typical SHF figure. So I was kind of surprised at that. I'm not sure how he was able to get them to be, so tight, but obviously I'd prefer that over looseness any day of the week. So that is really, really dope. All his joints felt, really solid and just really, really good. So he definitely didn't cheap out on the quality. I mean, this definitely feels like a premium figure. All right. And you might be saying, oh, he looks a little odd. Feels like he's missing something, right? You would be correct. He is missing his little belt piece, all right? So if he looks a little plain in the torso section, that's why, because he is missing his little belt piece. But Chabo, being a professional, of course, included that. All right, in the set. So let's get to the accessories. I'm dumping out all his accessories. And they come in this, little plastic bag, which is cool. But yes, he does have a separate, little belt buckle that you can attach to his belt, and it is magnetic, just like everything else. So it goes on just like that, and it looks fantastic. So booyah, now you have his belt buckle, and he is fully decked out in his Super Samurai form. And yeah, it just looks so freaking awesome, man. I feel like I'm gonna repeat that so many times in this video, but it really does. So yeah, now you can see him up close, and again, SHF details, just immaculate. From the sculpt of the chest symbol to the visor, everything is like perfect. It's just so clean, so well done. The nice, pretty like matte finish for the suit. It's got like a little bit of gloss to it, like most of the other SHF Rangers, but it's not like super shiny, which is nice. And the chest symbol itself has a nice, sheen to it, but it doesn't look cheap, so that's good. And like you can see his samurai saber, all the details are on there as well, and they look super, super good, man. Super clean. So I got him holding it in his left hand right now. But yeah, and just really, really good, man, front to back. So yeah, I guess we'll do play and display, and I'll leave him in Super Samurai mode, obviously, because it'll be easier to show you guys the articulation without the vest armor on. So yeah, we'll do that, and then we'll take a look at all of his accessories, and then if we have time, we'll put them on the display stand, and then we'll do size comparisons at the end. So let's go ahead and get into that. So for plain display, typical SHF style articulation, so you can turn the head side to side. And obviously when you turn his head, you're gonna wanna grab him like kind of from the middle so that you make sure that the top and the bottom part, rotate together. Because if you just grab it at the top, obviously it's just gonna start swiveling the visor, independent of this part. So you wanna make sure you grab both parts. But yeah, you can turn side to side, which is really dope. And you can look up, so the neck kind of like moves with the head, but you can look up pretty nice there. So there's a side view of him looking up. You can look down very well also. All right, so he looks down pretty nicely there. All right, so front and side view. And then, oh yeah, knocked off the little belt buckle. That might happen every now and then. But yeah, you can always just put that back on like that. And then, yeah, you can lean side to side. He gets a little bit of nuanced leaning in there, which is nice. And the whole neck moves on him, which is pretty cool. All right, and then for the arms, you can come out into the side, or you can raise them actually like a little bit above his, shoulder line or the clavicle. So you can raise the arms up pretty high, like almost like a Y pose, or like just better than a T pose. So a little bit better than 180 degrees. So those come up pretty nice. And yeah, the detailing is just great. Like even on these little caps, like inside for the shoulders, you got like, the gold part that outlines that part of the, Ninja Ranger suits, which is really dope. And of course you can bring the arms back down by the sides. That side, and just kind of, okay, yeah, adjust this one a little bit. But yeah, there you go. Just his belt. And okay, so one thing I want to mention real quick before I forget is that for his left arm, one day I was like trying to bend it, and I noticed like a piece of his forearm in the back kind of like broke off, and I was scared. I was like, oh no, like I broke it, right? And I actually still have the piece. So there's two pieces that actually broke off. So there was like one kind of larger piece that broke off first. And when it first broke off, I wasn't able to bend his arm like farther than like maybe this, or like maybe even less. Like his elbow was like permanently bent like that. And every time I tried to like move it back farther, it felt like, it was gonna snap and break. So I, obviously I didn't want to push it. So I was like, oh, okay. I was like, dang, maybe I'm gonna have to like review him like that. But last night, I came home and I was just messing with him a little bit. And I just gradually applied a little bit more pressure. And then another piece kind of came off. But ironically, that ended up fixing it. So now he has the range to where he's able to straighten his arm out again, which is what I wanted. I wanted him to be able to straighten his arm out on both sides. So, I'm glad that ironically ended up working out. So yeah, now he can straighten his arms, but he does have like the single, or I guess technically double jointed. I say that because it almost looks like a single joint the way it's like sculpted on the inside, but I think it is technically a double jointed elbow, because you do have like the two pins on the inside, so like 2 points of kind of like bending and swiveling, or yeah, more I guess bending, not really swiveling, but yeah. So like double jointed elbows that get him some pretty nice crunching range, right? He can bring the arm in better than, a little bit, just slightly better than the 90 degrees. Yeah, you can like push that in a little bit more, so you can crunch in pretty nice. And again, the joints do feel really good, nice and tight. All right. And then, yeah, I'm just gonna leave his little belt piece off for now because it keeps coming off. But yeah, you can swivel the arm, windmill 360 like that. So that looks good. And then of course, no bicep swivel, but you can, rotate the arm, the entire arm like that. So in and out, so that looks really, really good. And for the torso articulation, he does have the upper diaphragm joint, so he can bend about just a little bit forward using that top joint, and then just a little bit back using the top joint. But of course, if you combine like with his lower waist, right, you keep the legs straight and you bend them from there, he can bend forward a whole lot, like plenty forward, like that, right? And he can bend back pretty nicely as well. So, you know, your typical SHF engineering, you can get him to bend back a lot farther also if you use that, you know, waist joint. So yeah, there is that. And then of course he has some rotation, a little bit of rotation from that top joint. It is kind of tight, so I'm not going to push it too far, but you can technically twist from that top joint. All right. And I think you can also rotate him from the lower joint, like just above basically, or like behind this belt. You can kind of rotate him from that lower part as well. And that actually gets him turning a little bit easier side to side. So you have that. And for your leg range, you have the typical drop down hips. So that looks pretty good. Obviously, it's going to get a little bit gappy in there, but that's not too bad. And when you do that, you can kick up far better than the 90 degrees. So you get a good high kick going forward. Coming backwards, you get about that much, which is pretty good. You get quite a bit of range going backwards. You can push that back up. You got the double jointed knee that comes way up to the, you know, lower back. Kick his own butt, so that looks good. Ninja flexibility, right? And then you got your nice thigh rotation in there. So no thigh swivel, but you can kind of rotate it similar to the arm, in and out like that. And let's see, out to the side. Let's see if you move this, kind of move the joints and whatnot. You can get almost, you know, a splits, not quite a perfect splits, but you do get, you know, kind of close, so that's good. So he's got some nice samurai range, right? And I want to say that this ranger that he used was probably like some kind of red ranger. I don't know if it was the Ninja Storm Red Ranger, but judging off of, I just looked at these pegs on the inside for his hips, you know, those are red. So I'm guessing that this was previously some kind of red ranger. And his body does look pretty similar to Shane's now that I'm looking at it. So yeah, it may well have been Shane or, you know, some other SHF Red Ranger. And then for the foot articulation, you bend all the way down to the tippy toes like that. You can kick up about that far, just a little bit. And he does have toe articulation. So a toe hinge that goes up that much and comes back flat. And you have your nice ankle swivel or, you know, pivot in there, as well as a little bit of rotation because it is like on a ball and hinge. So you can rotate the entire foot side to side. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That is his, you know, articulation, play and display. So let's see. I guess I'll go ahead and put him back into the normal samurai mode. So hopefully you've gotten a good look at him in his super samurai mode, because I gotta say he does look really good, right? But yeah, I guess for the majority of the review, I guess we'll keep him in the, you know, typical samurai, you know, normal ranger form. So I'm going to go ahead and put the armor back on. So let me go ahead and swivel this, take this off, and again, remove this bottom piece. So yeah, it just takes like a little bit of wiggling. I'm going to be gentle with it. There you go, pop that off. And we have the armor piece. Put that back on like that, and booyah. We'll put the bottom part of the helmet back on. Let's see. Make sure it's lined up with the peg here. I'm gonna do this off camera, make it a little bit easier. Okay, push that back down like that. Good. And take the top part of the visor and snap that back on, and booyah. Now we are back in the normal ranger form. So let's get him a little situated here. But yeah, there he is. All right, so there is Cam, Mr. Cam Watanabe, or whatever his name is in the Sentai, I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, there he is back in his normal ranger form. All right, so let's go ahead and look at his accessories real quick, because he does come with quite a few. So as you would expect, he comes with some alternate hands. So he has the kind of like karate chop hands with all the fingers together. He's got, let's see, yeah, he's got one for both sides, so I'll just show you one. But yeah, this is very nicely detailed. The green on it is very nicely painted, very clean. Looks pretty good. I mean, there's like a little bit of green bleeding into the white right there, just a little bit though. No biggie. And the sculpt and everything is very nice. So you have that, one for each hand. You have the two splayed out hands like this. So very similar to all the ones that we've seen, like we just saw Tori and Dustin's. So yeah, we have some splayed out hands for Mr. Cam here, obviously with the green square on top. So yeah, two of those looking very good. And what else? We got two kind of ninja style pose hands. All right, so the two fingers together and the other two curled in with the thumb. And you got the green, and that looks pretty cool. I like to, pose the Ninja Storm Rangers with at least like one of these hands a lot of times because I just think it looks really cool and definitely like reminds you that they're ninjas. So that's pretty cool there. You got two of those. And you have two fist hands, so these are completely closed fists. No, they're not meant to grip anything. They're just completely, sculpted shut. And you got the green on top. Again, very, very nice lighting there. Or, paintwork. So you got two of those, and then you have this one, this kind of like trigger finger hand. Even though he doesn't really come with any like guns or anything, but this might be good for holding his sword. Especially if you have him in Super Samurai mode and you want to use the kind of like baseball bat thing that he does in the Sentai when he has, the sword in the sheath or the scabbard, and then he's using the baseball, so he's swinging it like a bat. So maybe this will help with that. Oh yeah, this would also probably be good for. I mean, it seems a little tight, but it might be good for using or gripping the samurai amulet or the baseball. So yeah, you could use it for that, I guess. But yeah, you only have one of these, so keep that in mind. He only has one of these kind of trigger style hands like that. And then he comes with this removable, handle or hilt of his samurai saber that you can, plug into the one that he's got on him right now. So when you want him with his short sword sheathed, you can just basically plug it in because there is a hole in the top of this little piece right here for his scabbard. So you just plug that in like so. Oops, sliding through. Okay, there we go. Yeah, slide or plug that in like that, and he's able to hold it at his side, and it looks pretty good. And this little holster at his side for the scabbard is made out of like a leathery material. So yeah, it's very, very nice material, and it does hold the scabbard itself pretty well. Nice snug fit. So yeah, that's how you would have him displayed, obviously, when his sword isn't in his hand. But yeah, since his sword is in his hand, I'll take this back out for right now. And yeah, and then of course he comes with his samurai amulet, which is very, very nicely detailed. Gotta say that real quick. Very, very nice paintwork on this. The silver, the gold, nice and shiny. And you even have like the little symbol inside of there for his morpher. Really, really nice. I'm not sure how he was able to get so much detail into such a small thing, but it is immaculate, man. The cyclone morpher, a nice shine to it in there, as you can see. It looks like a nice kind of like gloss film over it, which is really, really nice. The bottom of it with the gold, so excellent. And then you have his yellow baseball that he uses in the Sentai. I don't think Cam ever used this in Ninja Storm, but in the Sentai is definitely a thing where he kind of uses his, like I said, his sheath as a baseball bat, and then he hits this yellow baseball. So you have that. Very nice sculpt on that. Not too much to it. Just yellow paint, but it looks good. So yeah, that's all of his accessories. So let's go ahead and put him on the rotating display stand real quick, and then just so you can get a nice 360, and then we'll jump straight into size comparisons. And be aware, I may have to make this a two-parter just because there's so much to him, and I want you guys to see all of it. So prepare yourselves for a potential part 2. All right, I'll just let you guys know ahead of time. But thank you so much for watching part 1. All right. Oh yeah, and before I forget, he does come with this nice printed samurai symbol. You know, all the other SHF Ninja Storm Rangers came with their like symbols printed on a kind of like dojo looking thing, and I always use that as the backdrop for the review. So he does come with one of those, and it looks pretty nice. You know, just almost like almost the same quality as what you would get with a official SHF. So it is very nicely done. You have like the little cardboard on the back, but yeah, very nice that you get that as well. All right, so let's put them on the rotating display stand and see a nice quick 360 for them. All right, let's back it up just a little bit. So there he goes rotating, looking absolutely immaculate, man. I can't get over how good he looks. I mean, it's just so nice. Oh man, incredible. I've always wanted, you know, an SHF style of him, being that, you know, all the other Rangers got released in the SHF line, and it was just so unfortunate that they never got around to him. And I can recall Dawson Ryder dropping a video about like his top Rangers that he would want released in SHF, you know, line, and this guy was one of them. And you know, I was right there with him. I was like, man, I really want a green, you know, Ninja Storm Ranger as well. And I didn't, you know, SHF never got to it, you know, all these years. And mind you, you know, the rest of the Rangers came out like years ago, like I think like 2013, 2014, something like that. Like, you know, plenty of years ago. So they had plenty of time to put this guy out. And it's just a shame that they never did it. But, you know, it's nice to see that somebody out there is actually, you know, giving us custom SHF Rangers, and, you know, still giving us all the great perks of an SHF, you know, Ranger, and you know, the design, all the weapons, accessories that come with them. I mean, just immaculate. I mean, this is exactly what I'd want if SHF did decide to do this guy. And you know, the finish on him and everything is just so great. Just looks absolutely incredible. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and stop him here. All right, we'll take him off. All right. And so I'm gonna run out of time for the size comparisons, I know that, but I'll just mention my last few quick thoughts before we do, you know, before I film part 2, which will be the size comparisons, right? So just my concluding thoughts before this one ends is that, again, this is an incredible figure, man. Chabo did an absolutely amazing job on this. I mean, I don't think there's a better figure out there of him, you know, in this scale. I mean, I truly mean that. This is incredible, front to back, top to bottom. It just looks really good. It poses just like an SHF Ranger. The finish is just what, you know, what you would expect with an official release. So yeah, hats off to Chabo, man. Thank you so much, brother, for hooking me up with this figure. I know not everybody has, you know, the luxury of being able to have something like this in their collection, so I'm very grateful to have this guy. And yeah, he's awesome. I've had a bunch of fun posing him around. And yeah, I mean, before this video ends, I want to at least get a group shot with all the Rangers, if I can do that. So let me see if I can fit all of the SHF Rangers. I gotta get at least a group shot before this video ends with the entire SHF team. All right, so I'm gonna put Cam right here, and you know I got the whole team lined up, ready to go. So I'm gonna put Shane on this side. I'm gonna put Tori and Dustin over here as well. All right. So we got the 3 Wind Rangers lined up next to him, and we'll bring in the Thunders on his opposite side. So we got Blake right here and Hunter. All right, so we gotta get a, you know, team photo group shot. So let me back this up. See if I can get everybody in here real quick before we end the vid. Ooh, gotta back it up far, but yes, we can do it. Boom, just fits. But yeah, there is your entire SHF Ranger cast right there, man. And I gotta say, they look so freaking good, you know, all together. Let me move this a little less distracting, but now you can see all the SHF Ninja Storm Rangers are lined up, and damn, do they look good together, man. Oh man, I love this so much. So yeah, that'll be part 1. I'll film part 2 as soon as I get a chance, guys. You'll see of course, size comparisons, and I'll give my concluding thoughts on the figure. But as you can tell, I obviously love it. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. So thank you guys so much for watching this part one. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video, leave comments down below, share it, and yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in part two. Dang, this looks so awesome. Thank you guys. This has been your boy Biospider 3.0, and I will see y'all in part two. Peace and love. Have a great Sunday, or whatever day you're watching this. Peace out.